Well, first full day, I think, when did the first full day in pads, one way or the other, just kind of how's that transition going? What have you seen?
Well, again, it's, with guys here all summer, there's a lot of installation. So the first 2 days, acclimation or helmets only. Then it was Saturday, Sunday goes to shoulder pads. We get a couple lifting days. We have the media day with you guys Saturday. Monday was the first full padded day. We went yesterday morning to give them some time because the days are 2 a day. So we went yesterday morning. So we had a long time for meals, for hydration, for recovery, for rest, for meetings. So we're going this morning, and then we'll have a lighter practice 6 o'clock tonight. Today's a 2 a day. Tomorrow we're giving them an off day, and then we'll come back in. And so instead of having Sunday off, we kind of went through the install. But this is 6 straight days, 7 practices by tonight. Tomorrow we'll have some light go. We'll build back Thursday, have a double day Friday, and we're going to scrimmage late Saturday. And Saturday, I think, is the Monroe County Youth Football Day, so all the little league teams get to come in, get the scrimmage, get their pictures. Our guys hang out a little bit with that, and that kind of ties into a scrimmage that we'll do. It'll be our first big scrimmage. Pad-wise, you go short. I mean, today was our first live tackling. We've done some Oklahoma drill one-on-one tackling. We've done some form tackling, but today was our first 11-on-11 tackling, and you build to that, Zach. So progression's been kind of normal, kind of good, and it could be a little tired, a little sluggish. But again, we're a stronger team. We got a long way to go, but we're learning how to practice hard. Trying to get our coaches and players to get in the mindset of, I think if you train, sometimes you can almost start training like a quarter miler, or a distance runner who runs at a different pace. And the game's played in short bursts. And there's a point in time where the way we do practice, we can almost practice so much where it's hard for them to play at an 80, 90, 100 percentile. You talk about that, but when you got to go again and again, in the games, they got in a practice, sometimes we'll have 60 plays. And a game, it's 60, 70, 80 plays, and you're playing half of that, and you got TV timeouts, and you got halftime, and you're off the field. When in practice, you got individual, you got kicking. It's like 2 hours of almost like a soccer continuous movement practice. And so we've tried to look at some ways of practicing where we don't overdo it. So when we say go, we can start really playing more game speed reps in practice for what that's worth. You talk about practice situations, but we're trying to get some more 100 percentile, 20 mile an hour, fast as you can go plays during practice. We're working through that, and I think coaches get used to, you got to have reps, and I think there's a diminishing return with speed that I don't like.
After starting some hitting, how have the newcomers kind of adjusted to that?
Okay, I mean, some of them want to get hit once, and they start adjusting their chin strap, or they get those big eyes, and like I say, you don't play in this league if you don't hit. So, but they're doing good. I really, some of those linemen with Knight and Stepniak. Brandon Robinson looks nice. Brandon Wilson's got a chance. There's depth in the line, so they're good. Skilled players. I think a lot of the defensive backs look good. Tyler Green has a lot of notoriety coming in, but Andre Brown's been as impressive as anyone. Devontae Williams has been as impressive as anyone. He's our most physical guy because as a runner, he's used to getting hit where a lot of DBs aren't. So he's the strongest of those DBs, and he's nice. Jamil Cooks looks very natural. Crawford, I think all those freshmen get in the top 10 and maybe top 8, top 6. And so those guys are going to push, and that's making Fant and Tony Fields and those guys pick it up. So it's early. I don't think those guys are shy from competition. I like to see our young receivers. They have some talent, though. Be a little bit more physical as they learn to play with the pads and all that stuff.
It's early, but I guess, have you seen enough to feel a little bit better about the youth at the back end of that defense because you are getting maybe some good early returns from those freshman DBs?
Yeah. I mean, again, still it's going to be a work in progress. At the same time, if you got a front, we had a period today where we had, we think we got a good offensive line, and we had 4 sacks out of 6 plays. So if you can create some pressure and not have to blitz all the time and hang them out, and whether it be one-on-one rush, 3-man, 4-man, 5-man pressure. So, those guys got to complement themselves a little bit. That run game with the tight ends and O-line got to set up some pass game and help the young receivers. I think the defensive front linebackers are still going to be one-on-one, and sometimes you can protect them in coverage, but those guys are going to be okay back there. But I still think when you talk about you want the young guys to come on, I think your older guys got to be stronger, and that covers up some of that a little bit because your personality of your team, if you're a good line of scrimmage team, the game is played in space a lot more. And you can bust some coverages or not make big plays and hurt you. I mean, you need some dynamic skill players. But I think you can go through some growing pains if your line of scrimmage is really kicking butt. And I think, as we go through this camp, it'd be interesting to see just how strong our line of scrimmage, because I think that'll really help those young guys and not stress them out so much where they, quote, don't get exposed as much, if that makes sense. So But I don't know if I answered that for you the right way. I just a few practices in, they look okay, but until you keep hitting, so I'm expecting a lot of the young guys to. We'll see. I'm not saying we're counting on them; they'll get in the mix, but.
Coach Austin Doris and Brandon Wilson had a little extracurricular activity during the Oklahoma drills. Is that something you want to see, or?
Well, when we first got here, we didn't have a fight the whole first year. There's a fine line where it can lead past the practice field we talk about. And, brothers can fight. If your brothers, once in a while, we're fighting, but it needs not become personal. And so, in fact, our first year we finally got a fight, someone said we don't do that. And I go, yeah, we don't. I was kind of concerned. So I kind of like it, but there's a balance there, because if it becomes personal or if it goes past and it gets to the locker room or it comes back to the next play, then it's a problem. And so that's why I said, okay, y'all go again, just hit right now and get it over with. And I think moving forward, it was kind of good. So, but getting in a fight and swinging, hitting people and breaking fingers that are padded is not very, very smart. So, but it is nice to have a little chippiness, a little brotherly love. I think you need that. You need the banter. You just don't want it to get personal.
Also, Isaac James is working out on the side. Was there something? Did he tweak?
Yeah, he got a nice. I think he's got a little shoulder thing. So he got hit by Will Dawkins early, and just I don't think it's anything major. But he hasn't been able to practice for a day or two.
Can you talk about the kicking game at this point? What are you seeing there?
Well, we've done a lot of coverage work without doing a lot of full cover, a lot of fundamentals, just the fundamentals of protecting or defeating blocks and all that. So we're kind of getting where we're starting to get into 11 on 11 kicking, where it's full coverage. I think our punter looks very good with Toth. I think our snappers are better, and the young kid we brought in, Gotzel, is probably very talented. That's escalated. There's so I think the snap issue is a concern for me, because Matt Dooley was awfully good, really good. But I think as we move forward, we'll see how that goes. I think Toast looked awesome. Joseph Gideon has a huge leg. He's a little, like seeing him get a little quicker because of protection issues. He's a little deliberate, and some certain guys you're beating with timing of the kick, so you can still cover properly. So I'd like to see him picking up. But Toast's been really good. Oaks is kicked because Del Grosso actually is aggravated like a groin. He's flared up, so we've not had him kick for a couple of days. So right now it's kind of Oaks at the kicker. But I was expecting kind of a 50-50 race with Camp. And unfortunately, Aaron's got like a groin pull that we've got to be quiet with him for a couple of days, not kick him.
Kevin, I'm wondering, the year-round nature of football now, where you're training, is the August camp...
Kills your golf game.
I know it kills your golf game.
Not if you have a golf game.
But beyond the golf game, is it too long now? In other words, you have a month to prepare. Do you need that month, or could you tighten it up a little bit?
What we try to do, because you say that, is for example, tomorrow's an off day, and we're going to do some team, and you can overdo the team building things.
Right.
Like, as a parent, I had to go to Disney World, and we checked it off. We're not going back. It didn't fit us that day. It was hot and miserable, but you check off things. Well, I can have team activities and check them off. You want to build some team chemistry. So tomorrow we got an off day, because sometimes they go to apartments and they go to dorms and they get in their little cliques, and so there's a fine line. So the nice thing is I feel there's enough time that I don't have to, and because we have our systems in, I don't think we feel as rushed like we used to feel. We got we don't understand. Like today we did what we call punt safe. Hey, we're going to talk them out of fakes, and they might go for it, or it's 4th and 3, and we don't want to jump off sides. And initially that's really hard. Well, now you got a lot of guys that play, they understand your terminology, and so sometimes to me, I don't think we feel as rushed, and you can get into a little bit more team building.